A few years ago, I did a series titled Shem in the Land of Africa, a series that sought to show where you could find the ancient Hebrews on the coast of West Africa, the strip of land that used to be called the Slave Coast. In that series, I used culture and customs that you could find in the biblical text to prove our case, given other forms of data to make the claim. But the GaDangbe people I would put in three different categories. We have those that believe that, yes, the Ga people are from a stock of the ancient Hebrews, and they predominantly use the biblical text as their source. They use names in the text, they use customs and traditions in the text to make their claim, they use the Exodus to make their claim. You have the second group who also do believe that we are a stock of the ancient Hebrews, but they do not subscribe to the biblical text because they argue that we predate the biblical text, so we should make our claim with the biblical text closed. And there is a third group that don't believe we are ancient Hebrews. They believe that we are indigenous to the place that we are, or maybe to Nigeria, Ile Ife, and then we migrated down to our current place in Ghana. I'm going to start a series, and this series I'm going to focus on the second group, the group that want us to make our claim with the biblical text closed. I think all the three groups should be heard. The argument should be heard. And then we can figure out which is which, what is what, etc. So, I'm going to be talking and making my argument with the biblical text closed because I'm going to wear the hat of those that say we predate the biblical text. We should make our argument with the text closed, and we should keep it critical. So let's look at the GaDangbe people, ancient Hebrews, from a critical academic lens. Join me. The GaDangbe people of Ghana have proclaimed since time immemorial that we are from a stock of the ancient Israelites. Though this statement is accurate, it does not make us Jews or Semites or Shemites, however you want to pronounce it. We, the Ga people, never claim to be from Shem, even though we proclaim ancient Israel. How is this even possible, one may ask? Well, my choice of words here is very important. The table of nations stated in the biblical text is not historical. The author of this table composed a story that reflected and explained the political and social realities of the world that he knew. The author, which was not Moshe nor Joshua, composed the stories of his people's ancestors with an eye to explaining and justifying the world situation which he lived. These genealogies are largely a connecting device in the narrative, done by editors to posit relationships between the various peoples known to them. One genealogy in Genesis 5 traces the development of humanity from Adam to Noah. In chapter 10, we find a list of the descendants of Noah. Finally, in Genesis 11, the editor fills in the generation from Shem to Abram. These genealogies are fictional. This is why the Ga people do not say we are from Shem or we are Semites, even though we are Israel, because these genealogies are fictional and not historical. What we are making is a historical claim, not fictional claims. So, what do we Ghana people mean when we make this statement of being Israel? And not only Israel, but being from the northern kingdom of Israel. The term Israel has a number of different meanings. About 1210 BCE, Israel appears in an Egyptian inscription referring to a relatively important group, maybe a tribe, living in the mountains of Ephraim. Between the 10th century and 722 BCE, Israel designates a kingdom whose capital is Samaria, and that does not include Jerusalem or Judah. This is the Israel that is mentioned in the Assyrian and other texts. This kingdom is what scholars call the Kingdom of the North or the Northern Kingdom. These group of people are those that the Ghana people proclaim being part of or coming from. Notice I have not mentioned the word Jew yet. Why? There was no such designation yet. There were no Jews yet. After the Assyrians had destroyed this kingdom, the name Israel came to be a theological term. This theological Israel designates all those who venerate the God of Israel. Where does Judah come into this picture? The northern kingdom, which the Ghana people are part of, had to its south another territory, the kingdom of the south. The name Judah is first applied to a region, also called Judea, and to a tribe, then later to the kingdom of the south, with its capital at Jerusalem. The southern kingdom was ruled until 587 BCE by kings claiming descent from the line of David. After the destruction of this kingdom by the Babylonians and its disappearance as an independent political entity, Judah or Yehud becomes the name of a province that is part of the Persian Empire and then of various Hellenistic kingdoms. We cannot speak of Jews or Judaism before the end of the Persian era or even before the Hellenistic period because it is only towards the end of the 4th century that we find a religious system in place that is at all like what one designates as Judaism. So, it is better to avoid using the term Jew and Judaism for the earlier periods, the periods the Ghana people refer to when they proclaim Israelites. So again, historically, we are a stock of the ancient Israelites. Historically, we are not Shemites or Semites, and historically, we are not Jews. This is the claim that the GaDangbe people, my people, make. Tra, Omanye Ablao.